Good evening, YouTube world. I'm your host, Paul Italia. Welcome to the Arm Wrestling Buzz, episode 23. We got our sponsors in the house. I want to first shout out to griparmsports.com. Get over to Grip Arm Sports, check out all their new gear. They got a whole new clothing line coming out. Make sure to use the code Italia15, receive your 15% off. Also, if you need some high-quality arm wrestling handles, get over to gripzilla.com. Use that code Paul10 and receive 10% off. So with that being said, I'd like to introduce today's special guest. He is a stud. He is going around the world smashing everybody. Welcome, Paul Linn. What's up, Paul? How you doing tonight, brother?
What's going on? Thanks for having me on, guys.
Thank you for being here, brother. And I'd also want to introduce Josh from Grip and Rep, the Arm Wrestling Buzz crew. We're just waiting on Tom and Pradeep will be joining us shortly. And we're also waiting on Merlene Berrouet, and she's also going to be another special guest, which she'll be joining us very shortly. So lots of new things going on in the arm wrestling world, lots of matches being announced. Actually, today we had a pretty big card announced. We got September 23rd. We got King of Table coming up. And, they announced a big match between Sergey Komenko versus Chance Shaw. I'm very excited about that one, and kind of wanted to get your guys' thoughts on that match. We know that Chance is coming off a big win against Sabin at the past Knuckles Up event in New Jersey. And just kind of want to get your thoughts on what we think is going to happen between him and Sergey. We know Sergey just got a big win against Matt Mask. So, Paul, what's your thoughts, man? Who's going to walk away with the win that day?
Man, I'm backing Chance, obviously. That's my guy. But it's classic top roll versus top roll. Chance's style is a little bit different from what Sergey just faced in Matt Mask. Chance started out as that, the pupil of Matt Mask, the low hand top roller. And he shifted a little bit more to that Travis Bajent make a fist style, and with the smaller hands and everything, and his just general hand strength with a smaller hand. He's found some really good lanes there. His back pressure is unbelievable. I think it could go either way. It's very hard to predict. The only lane that I know I've seen weakness in Sergey is inside. When you date back to that Georgi Dizranov match, where Georgi figured that out in the third round, turned him in and turned the tides. I think Chance has a very underrated hook because he never goes to it. But I'd be interested to see, man, if this gets weird, like in the first round, and let's say Sergey has some success outside, I'd love to see Chance turn him in and make it a war. But I love the match. Chance messaged me when it was offered. I like, go get him, bro. Go get him.
Hell yeah. Who would you say is the favorite in this match?
Man, I tell you, it's so hard, like with these international matches. Sergey is a fairly newcomer. Like when you look at like where the sport started, he's fairly new, but he's arm wrestling at an extremely high level. And Chance has, like you can look at the wins losses in East versus West and say, oh, Chance hasn't won whatever, however many whatever, but coming off the win against Sabin, I think if Chance brings his best form, I would make Chance the favorite. But mainly that's because I think Chance has untapped potential. And it comes down to him bringing his best form. I think if Chance brings his best form, I would make him the favorite. If he comes in off the couch or doesn't take it serious, then maybe it goes the other way.
And you got to see that match at Knuckles Up against Chance versus Sabin?
Yes. Yeah, highlights. I didn't catch it live because obviously it was in Istanbul. So,
what was your thoughts on that? Were you surprised at that outcome at all?
I mean, like in a way, no, because of the stylistic difference, right? Like I know Chance brings, when Chance can get what he needs in the setup, he has probably some of the tightest back pressure that you're going to find in the States. And when you talk about the style matchup with Sabin being a more of an open arm top roller, Chance also pairs that back pressure up with very good side pressure. So like, I wasn't like super surprised, but I wasn't sure which way it was going to go. Like it wasn't like finding it out on the back end after the live event and everything. It wasn't like I was blown away in any way, shape, or form. But I still think it's a really, really good one.
Josh,
especially with Saban getting that win over
Pablo?
Pablo, yeah.
And shout out to Pablo. Pablo's in the chat. How you doing, Pablo? Josh, want to get your thoughts, brother, on the Chance versus Sergey match. How do you see
I'm going to back the guy from the States, obviously. And he said he's been in the gym, too. He's focusing more on the physical, the strength side of arm wrestling now than he is more table time like he used to do.
Yep.
And I think he was still coming off, he was that last East versus West match. It was his first match back from injury and everything. And he kind of had to warm up and knew where he was at, what he needed to work on before he faced Saban, too. So,
I think he's taking it seriously, and I think he's putting in the work. I know the Swedes are actually staying by his house right now. We got a big match coming up this weekend, September 9th at the FAL. It's going down in Spring Hills, and it's going down at the Pro Gear Gym. That's Sarah and Mikey's gym over there. And Sarah's got a huge super match. Sarah Bachman's going against Anna Gronlin. That is going to be an amazing banger right there. Really can't wait to see that. And then we also got Merlene Berrouet, and she's going to be going against Ebba Lindström. And that one's also going to be a war. We know that Merlene is the top 154 lady in North America right now. And we know those Swedish ladies are just assassins on the table. So I'm really looking forward to this match. And this is actually going to be the first time, I think, in like over 10 years that Florida is going to have some female super matches. And, we're hoping to see a lot more of these. I was on the FAL channel yesterday with Brandon Morris, and he's looking to get a lot more action with the ladies going. So we definitely want to get behind that, guys.
Absolutely.
Also, I just want to shout out a couple people in the chat. We got the Nightmare. Dan, what's going on, brother? I was just over in New York, had a great practice with them. Very, very strong crew over there. They really worked me, got me ready for this weekend coming up to compete. Also want to shout out Pablo's in the house. We said that before. What's up, Pablo? How you doing, brother? A lot of big things coming from Pablo. Stizzy, how you doing, Stizzy? We got the Arm Wrestling Fan. We got a new account out there, Paul Italia. What's up? How you doing, bro? And Captain Obvious, Devin's Forum. We got all the regulars in here. Thank you guys for supporting it, and click that thumbs up button if you're feeling this content. So also want to go on, we got a couple other matches that was announced at the King of Table, September 23rd. And the one that I really want to talk about is we got Matt Mask. He is going against the legend, Ron Bath. So, Paul, what's your thoughts on this one, my man?
Man, they got history. Like, I remember when I was getting started, like there was some round robins and some super matches, and obviously facing each other in WAL. We've seen it go both ways over time. Ron with the injury and coming back, it's hard to say. We got to figure out what these stem cells really can do. But yeah, that's a tough one. I tell you, I thought Matt has looked really good at his previous outings, from the East versus West qualifier finals on to even that match with Sergey. I thought that was a great match. That was a very good showing for both pullers, especially Matt with the hand control. I think it really comes down to, where is Ron at recovery-wise? Where's his hand at? What can he contain? And we're going to have to find that out. I would have to probably make Matt the favorite due to activity, but I wouldn't be surprised if it went the other way. And it's going to be interesting to see Ron back at the table and where he's at.
Yeah, shout out to VitaCell Biologics for that stem cell therapy. They're really helping out our athletes, getting them all healed up. And we know that Ron Bath has been getting treatments as well. So we're looking forward to see Ron coming back healthy and very strong. And I got to be honest, man, I don't know who's going to get the win that day. These two are both extremely strong, been putting on some good showings and all. So, Josh, what's your thoughts on that match, brother?
If I had to put money on, I'm going to put it on Matt right now, especially with it showing against Sergey. But I mean, if Ron won, it wouldn't surprise you just because it's Ron.
Yeah.
And those stem cells seem to work magic. So
Hell yeah. Yeah, actually, we got some big thing coming up with Vitacell and all. They got a couple of guys coming in, and I'm gonna get to hang out with them. I don't want to actually announce all the guys' names right now. I shouldn't have brought that up yet. But
it'll come out. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, it's something good though. Definitely some big things in the works. So the other main event and match that is going down at King of Table, September 23rd, is we got the GOAT, John Brzenk, and we got the rematch, Alexei Vovoda, making his big comeback into arm wrestling. So what's your thoughts on that? Oh, what's up? We got a superstar that just entered the room. We got Merlene Berrouet. How are you, Merlene? You're chopping up a little with your service right now. I think you're glitching and all. We're just going over the King of Table matches, September 23rd and all. But yeah, I think you're frozen right now. So we'll get you to work on that audio, and then we'll come back to you. But Paul, what's your thoughts, brother? Who do you think is going to get the win, man? Alexei's making this big comeback and all.
Wow, I talk about more unknowns, right? Like, how do you know? We got some practice video of Alexei pulling over there with
David,
Bob Kim's team and everything. We see some David Khan footage, this and that. I mean, we're piecing together practice video, but at the end of the day, we're talking about John Brzenk. You know, I mean, I've learned my lesson in the past. Thinking John was going to lose. I don't like the safe money is on John. I feel like, you know, and so I mean, it's going to be really interesting. Talk about like a huge hype match, like a comeback. And talk about legends. This is a legends match, and that word gets thrown around even more and more now that we're getting back into this resurgence of arm wrestling. That is truly a legends match. We're going to see Devin and Dennis. That's a legends match. Like, there's only a few guys, a handful of guys fall in that legend category. So regardless of outcome, you gotta love what's going on right now.
Josh, what's your thoughts on that match, brother? Do you think John has what it takes to hold off Alexei and stop this great comeback?
How did he say his shoulder was messing with him a little bit, going into like Todd and all that? That's the only thing.
About John. Yeah, I mean, he's had that ongoing shoulder thing. I spoke to him in Istanbul, and he said that he's had the stem cells and everything else. He said he still has some clicking and popping and things of that nature. But I talked to him about Todd, and he gave more credit to Todd than
I think Todd's a terrible matchup for him too, with the way John arm wrestles as well.
Especially on your shoulder too. I mean, when you have a bummed shoulder and now you got that side pressure coming at, that is not fun to deal with.
Well, I mean, guys, look what he did to Ibrahim Sagov, who just won AMC. Like, the guy's like in his early 20s, and is like, we're talking about a move that Todd is not good with. Yeah. The way he hung him up and handled him, to me, that just tells me Todd was in really, really good shape, rather than Todd being awful.
We could see a Todd versus Paul Linn if he drops to your weight class.
He might weigh less than me. He might weigh less than me right now. He don't have to drop nothing.
What would you think of that match, Paul?
I mean, like, it really all depends on how things pan out. So we know we're going to see Todd versus Sasha next at East versus West. So that'll be for the 95 kilogram championship. I think Todd has a very strong chance of winning that. And depending on how that goes, I know Engen doesn't like to make West versus West matches, but maybe down the road, depending on how things go, maybe we'll see that match. I mean, one thing we know is it's going to go inside.
Yeah.
We don't know how it's going to go, but it's going inside.
Let me ask you this one. If you had to choose one athlete, as far as style to go against, either the rematch versus Sasha or going against Toddzilla, which one would you rather take?
I would always prefer to be teammates with Americans and Canadians rather than go against them.
All right, let's forget though we're on the same team. Let's just pure styles. Who Who would you pick?
I think I have a better chance against Sasha than I do against Todd. Doesn't mean I don't have a chance, but I think after knowing what I know now and prep time and understanding where I need to be better, I like the rematch with Sasha. Todd, I've only ever trained with, never had the real ready goes and everything. So I would feel like my odds would be slightly better against Sasha, but I'd be the underdog against Todd, self-admittedly, but not. I think it's not outside the realm of possibility.
Let me ask you guys, 'cause, I mean, you don't live far from each other. Do you guys practice? Have you gripped up before on a regular? Yeah, you do.
Not on a regular basis, but like, I mean, since I started arm wrestling, we've definitely been at practice together and worked with each other probably, a good handful of times. Like, so we're pseudo familiar.
So give me an idea. What you don't gotta tell me exactly, but who gets the better of who in those practices?
I have never in my life been able to move Todd towards the losing side until the last time we pulled.
And so when was the last time you pulled?
In preparation for Sasha. So 3 weeks prior to Sasha match. That was the closest I ever was to, meaning like the first time we've ever gone back and forth in practice. So
do you say in the last year you have how much have you leveled up percentage wise? Do you consider yourself in the last year?
I don't know. That's so hard to quantify. A lot of it has to do with injury. So like I battled, like unbeknownst to myself, like some injuries that I had early on in the sport from overtraining and training like a meathead. I created problems. I created tears in my medial epicondyle, that common flexor bundle, and then the lateral epicondyle. So I treated them with PRP about 2-3 years ago. One treatment on each side in a different, like within 6 months of either of them. And the healing process on that and being able to train kind of pain-free, I think has helped me more than anything. That and adapting to like understanding that I might actually be better as a hook puller than a top roller and finding where my niche is. I don't think that I am necessarily any stronger than I was 2-3 years ago. I mean, my gym numbers are good. Like I'm still working towards things and everything. But as far as table application, endurance, and joint integrity, I think that's where I've made most of my gains.
Very nice. Yeah, we've been watching, bro. It's pretty crazy what you've been doing on the table, man. And we definitely need more of that for North America. So I want to change position topics and all, and I want to get into Merlin. We know you have a big super match coming up this weekend and everything, and it's going against one of the Swedish female arm wrestlers, which we know these Swedish arm wrestlers are like the top of the top. And you're going to be going against Ebba Lindstedt. I just want to get your thoughts. What could we expect Saturday?
Y'all can expect me to give it my all, give everything I got. It's a different Merlin. I've, like I said, been fortunate to train with an awesome team, have great mentors like the guy right there, that always help me see things that I don't see on my own. So I'm really excited to see how I'm a pull, because it's like a combination of several things. I spent years worrying about other people getting hurt. I've spent years training differently, but I been switching everything up. So I'm really excited to see what's going on. To me, this is like a pregame to East versus West. So I'm on a mission.
When do you leave for Florida? What day?
Right afterward.
Okay, now you said you were driving, right?
Mm-hmm.
How far of a drive is that?
It's a little over 6 hours.
Wow. Okay.
So I'm gonna leave right after work, go pick up the babies, drop them off, hit the road, hopefully get there around 10. Take a much needed rest because Lord knows I'm tired. Then in the morning, be a different person, and then be nice again, probably around 4 or 5 p.m.
Gonna let the beast out. I love it. And we also have another big super match on that card. And we got Sarah Bachman, and she's gonna be pulling Anna Gronlin. And we know Sarah is one of the best female pullers on the planet and is a strong, young, up-and-coming arm wrestler, world class as well. And I believe they went against each other some years back. So we're going to get to see where Anna's progression has brought her. And I'm really, really excited to have these two female matches going down in the FAL. I think this is a great thing. And I encourage more of these to go down because we definitely want to get, North American female arm wrestlers, more of them involved. We need to step up the numbers for the ladies. So Merlene, I want to kind of get your thoughts on what do you think is the key for us growing women's arm wrestling in North America. This way we could compete with the Swedish women and all the other great women they have all over the world.
I think it's killing the stigma. You know what I'm saying? Like getting them to understand that it's not just about winning, that it's not a one-time win or lose thing. Also, I wish we had more tournaments, you know what I'm saying? Like more, because I know that's an issue for me, being able to get to tournaments and stuff like that. Like even when Sarah was throwing that amazing tournament in Texas, it was all the way in Texas. So I wish there was like more of a more tournaments. And like I said, more female participation, but we got a lot of cool things happening. Like, people throwing ideas of round robins for women. I think that's fucking awesome. You know what I mean? Because Lord knows I love the 154 round robin and the 198 one that's coming. I can't wait for that. You know what I'm saying? So I think things like that, events like that, highlighting women, more spotlights on women doing big thing will probably bring more women into the sport, just kill the stigma of it being about win or lose. Because a lot of them, they'll be at tournaments and they'll be sitting and they'll be like, yeah, I wanted to try, but I was worried I was going to lose or something. Like, it's not about that. You know what I'm saying? You gotta just be like the guys, you know what I mean? Like when I entered the sport, there was no amateur for women. It was just, you pulled whoever and everyone, and then you went for overalls, you know what I'm saying? So I kind of wish we could bring that back too. Like, I like that idea of, there are different weight classes, but then you can go for overalls and stuff like that. That's pretty cool. You know what I mean? But I think that would help more, because we already are a supportive group of women. I haven't really met any woman that wasn't kind, you know what I mean? So we just got to band together and support each other, I feel like.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. We got Tom, the arm wrestler, in the house. What is up, Tom? Haven't seen you in a while, brother.
What up, everybody? Congrats on the win, by the way, Paul. That was a big win there.
Thank you.
Tom, I want to catch up, brother. What's been going on with you, my man? What do we got coming up as far as arm wrestling? And just kind of catch us up where you've been and all.
Just been training. Got a tournament on the 23rd, so preparing for that.
Where is that one?
That is the Texas State Championship.
Oh, very nice. And what weight class are you pulling there?
242.
Oh, very nice, bro. You're getting up there, my man. Getting up there in the size for real. And so, Tom, want to just catch up, man. We were running through the King of Table, talking about all those great matches that were just announced, and I just wanted to get your opinion on that one that was just announced with Matt Mask versus Ryan Bath. What's your thoughts on that?
I think Matt Mask is a favorite, just because obviously Ron Bath was injured. We haven't seen him in a while, so yeah, I think Matt Mask probably the favorite to win that.
Very nice. And other one that I want to talk about is the Arm Wars. We saw that Devin Lorette just pulled Georgi Savetkov. And when is that again released? Does anybody know the date where we'll be able to get to see that? Anybody hear any rumors, anything going on, like who won or anything like that?
No, they keep that thing under wraps. You ain't finding that out.
I'm loving that Georgie, man. He's really getting some action now. We just announced that Georgie's going to be at the East versus West pulling Zaire. So that's a big one, man. And I'm really happy for Georgie, bro, because that dude, you could call him a week out and he will accept any match. The dude is a warrior. He's really about it. So a guy like that really deserves the spotlight that he's getting, my man. And what is your guys' thoughts on that match? How do you have that one going? We'll start off with you, Paul.
We talking about Zauer?
Yeah, Zauer and Georgie.
Man, I don't know. Zauer's coming off an injury. But I want to say Georgie is like the sweetest human being on earth, too. Like, I remember being in Istanbul with him and not knowing he spoke English for like a couple of days, being there and figuring it out. And that's like the only guy I'm talking to. Brought me a bottle of wine. He's the sweetest guy ever. You know, he had that war with Jerry that didn't go his way. He was a little discouraged afterwards. We communicated back and forth, but he's such a ball of good energy. You know, it's really hard not to root for that guy. And I think Zauer coming off the injury, I know Zauer was on that hype train there for a minute, but I mean, this guy, Georgie's top roll is possibly like I don't know who top rolls better in that class. He never loses his hand. His back pressure is tight. Like it could be really interesting. Plus, Zauer pulls very similarly. So if I want to, like, in my mind and my heart, I think that Georgie is the favorite. And I'll be rooting for him hard. But I mean, either way, it shakes things up. That's the beauty of that super heavyweight class, man. Yeah, every match shakes everything up.
Yeah, I got to say, I actually heard it on Pradeep's channel, and he was talking about Georgie, saying that Georgie has never lost his wrist in any match. Nope. And we're talking about going against Levon and all that. And we know that that's the key for Zaire to get a win against Georgie. So that's going to be very questionable. And like Pradeep was saying, you would have asked me 6-7 months ago, I would have been like, Zaire, 100%. It's not even close. I mean, the dude is, the next big thing. But now, after getting to know Georgie and seeing him in action, I got to say, I think Georgie's actually the favorite in this. Tom, what's your thoughts on that?
It's hard to predict. Like Paul said, they're both top rollers. So, I mean, I'm not sure. Obviously, Zauer coming off the injury, but he was even willing to step in for Gennady, if you guys remember. So he has until November to prepare. So potentially he could come in a really strong form. So I think, whoever gets that top position, the top role, will win.
Merlene, what's your thoughts on this match?
I'm just looking forward to watching it. Sometimes it could always go either way. So
yeah,
I just, I'm excited to see it. Like, these matches are definitely top notch,
Josh, what's your thoughts on this?
I think Georgie's the favorite. I think Zauer has a lot of pressure on him because of all the hype he had behind his name. And if he just goes out there and gets crushed, all that hype he had just goes out the window. But if he comes in there and just crushes Georgie, then it's like Georgie just crushed Moore's off. So how good is Zauer?
Yeah, and let me ask you guys. So if Zaire didn't get hurt at all, would you still think Georgie is the favorite if Zaire never got the injury?
Oh.
No.
Tom, what's your thoughts?
Probably not. I mean, if Zauer wasn't injured, he could be potentially, who knows what matches he would have already had by now. So, I mean, it's hard to say.
Do you guys think that he would have been possibly been able to beat Levon if he didn't?
Well, this is a guy who has pins on Vitaly Laletin, so you got to keep that in mind.
Yeah. I mean, when he was killing it over there in AMC, he was like, everybody was begging for him. And then, I mean, whatever political stuff was going on, why he couldn't come or whatever else at the time. Now we're past that, and of course the injury pops up. Then, you know what I mean? Again, that injury, like some of these lists that these guys are doing, like, you gotta wonder, like, does the risk outweigh the reward? Like, what are we really doing here? We're seeing more and more guys falling into that, trying to hype matches and stuff. I wish we would get to a point. Obviously, hyping the match is important, but like some of these things now are causing people to lose matches and lose time and training and everything. And it's interesting for the landscape because you got this guy out, that guy out. But like, how cool would it be to have everybody healthy and just be able to see a ton of matches?
Paul, what do you mean by with the exercise, like the PRs that they're doing? Like, is it like what Devin's doing with the pronation lift and all? Is that
the pronation lift and Devin moving that in short range of motion? Devin is a calculated human being. I don't think he's ever going. I don't think we're ever going to see Devin hurt himself training with weights. I'm saying when we're seeing these things on YouTube and Instagram and everything else, it's these astronomical weights being moved in strange positions and like, trying to do a wrist curl that is, a small car, you know what I mean? Like how much of this is beneficial, how much, where's the, the cost benefit analysis? I know we all went to hype train. A lot of people went to views and everything, but man, this, like, I've been there, I've done the overtraining thing. I've pushed and I've shifted my mentality because of it, learning those lessons the hard way. I just hate to see it happen at the super heavyweight, like highest level, like the matches that we want to see. The interesting part is, again, the landscape has changed. When you talk about Gennady getting hurt, you talk about Zauer getting hurt, you talk about Levon getting hurt, and then you talk about Morozov getting sick. Like, everything has changed. Now, all of a sudden, even though Zauer beat Vitaly at AMC convincingly, now we're talking about Vitaly back up there again. It's cool because it's like a soap opera, but I'd love to see everybody at play.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that.
It switches so quickly, but as an arm wrestler, you got to think like longevity and you got to kind of adapt so you don't have injuries like that.
And another thing I noticed is, Devin put out that pronation lift, and, Pradeep was actually the guy. He broke down all the different lifts everybody was doing, and each one, it was like playing telephone. Each one, they would change something a little, and before you know it, the lifts are like completely different. And that's where I see the risk. Just like you said, Paul, Devin's been doing this a lifetime. We're not going to see him getting hurt in the gym. The guys did this forever. But when you got these new guys in here, and they're looking at Devin putting up these big numbers, now they're going to try it, and, they might not be doing it proper. They're just trying to throw weight around and make a video and all, and that's where we're going to see the injuries. And I just remember when Zawier posted that lift when he popped that bicep tendon, and I was just like, why are you doing this? That makes no sense, bro. Like, so I just hope that we could kind of get away from that, because
well, I mean, it is a great exercise until you get injured, to be honest, moving that type of weight in a strong position, back pressure position. But
let me ask you, Tom, so you go and do that lift. Now you go and you pop your bicep and you're out for 6 months. Do you consider that being okay and being a smart move?
Well, obviously that is not what you're trying to have happen. Clearly, but you're trying to get stronger. But there's a fine line between pushing it too far to where your form breaks down and there's a risk of injury, or pulling back too light to where you're just pumping and you're not pushing yourself enough with the intensity. So I think it's just a matter of how far do you want to push it, especially we got to consider, people taking gear too, right? That increases the risk of injury when your tendons aren't recovering as quickly as, your muscles. So there's a lot of factors at play.
All I'm going to say, bro, is when you hurt yourself, you literally are going back to zero, and you got to start and build everything over. So yeah, it's 6 months
100%.
before you get back in the gym, but it's probably about a year before you get back to where you were before that.
Yeah, but I'm not advocating you completely get rid of these exercises per se. I'm just saying you should do it in a smarter way.
Right. Yeah. And there's factors at play too. So a lot of times we're talking about these lifts that may have created injury. We're talking about real short range of motion or static range of motion. We're talking about max loads, that we're moving for an inch. We're not talking about moving a heavy load and holding it. We're not talking about doing reps. Like, there's so many variations that you can do, I think, a little bit more safely. Again, I'm no expert on any of this, but like, how much do you get out of hitting? Like, if your rep range is higher, or if your static hold time is higher with a lighter weight, how much can you achieve from that? And then at the end of the day, like, if it doesn't apply on that table and the whole chain doesn't link up, how much does it matter? So many people ask me questions, well, how do you train your side pressure? And I'm like, I do certain things for internal rotation. I do pressing movements, I do shoulder-based movements, and I don't do any traditional arm wrestling side pressure movements in the gym because of joint integrity. I do my side pressure training structured on the table. So, which there's a level of elasticity there, and I think less of a chance depending on how you approach it, of injury. And I've learned these lessons the hard way. And I'm not giving anyone advice or anything like that. I just hate to see the injuries. I just hate to see them, especially if there was an option for them.
I want to give an example. So this past weekend, I was over in New York, and we had a big practice over there. I had like 30 guys, and Dan the Nightmare actually was the guy that threw the practice, and we're pulling for like two hours or whatever. And then I don't remember who it was, but somebody came up and they're like, "Yo, let me do this pronation lift that Devin's doing," and they started piling on all these weights. I think it might have been Dan. And when I seen it, I'm like, whoa, bro, relax. What are you doing right now, my man? You're going to hurt yourself. Like, we just been pulling for the last 2 hours. And then he started like wanting to go and start hitting PRs and all. And I'm like, that is just the formula right there to get hurt. So that's what I mean. You got to think before you're putting these crazy lifts into play. When Devin's doing it, it's controlled. He's working on building his strength. But by him doing this lift, you got to also remember you're getting these newbies that are looking at it that might not understand all arm wrestling and all that. And now they're doing the same thing, and they're kind of doing it in a bad way, in the middle of a practice after you burnt out is probably not the best way.
Yeah, that's the thing with arm wrestling. There's not as much awareness for beginners for just general strength training, programming and just knowledge in general, because they see lifts and, maybe they'll think that they're maxing out every day or something. They're not seeing the programming and everything that, comes into play, especially when you're a meathead and you just want to max out every day. Like I remember when I started lifting, I was just trying to max out all the time on deadlift, like, twice a week trying to PR and stuff, but it doesn't work forever. You can get newbie gains, but it won't last forever.
Yeah, I was that guy. I was that guy. I might still be kind of that guy. But at the end of the day, when you're trying to figure out arm wrestling, you're a new arm wrestler. You hit Google, say arm wrestling training, all those PR lifts pop up. You know what I mean? That's the first thing in your feed. You got to scroll down to get something of quality.
Those are the big views.
Yeah, the big views. Everyone wants to see the big weight movement. And we're all like that. We all want to move big weight. We all want to do these different things. But then you learn over time, like, okay, which movements are of most value? Which movements are safest? How do I protect myself? And the longer I've been in this arm wrestling thing, the more I'm understanding it's health over strength. Like it's less pain over strength. Like when you can find that balance and you can arm wrestle healthy without fear, without pain, that's when I think you're the most dangerous.
Yeah,
that's
Paul,
that's why the stem cell thing is so interesting to me. I have these long-standing football injuries and all these things. And again, shout out to Vitacell Biologic. I'm gonna go see Dr. Mark next week. Those guys are a blessing. I mean, I'm just very interested to see what it's like.
Is that going to be your first time trying the stem cells?
Yes.
No.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought you had it already. Oh, wow.
Long-standing injuries. I got torn labrums in both of my shoulders that I've been dealing with since football.
So are you putting them in a certain area, or how does that work?
Directly into the labrum.
Okay, so you put it into like the injured area is usually.
The doctor will administer that. Like I'm gonna trust him to it. But I mean, like we're talking about like something that you just deal with. And you're a meathead. You're just like, all right, it's pain tolerance, right? But there's a level where pain tolerance can create, tendinopathy and chronic injury. And the meathead mode goes out the window all of a sudden when you can't hold a glass anymore or something,
Recovery is such a huge factor for sure.
Yeah, so guys, I want to encourage you to get over to Bob Brown's channel. I just did a series, a 16-part series with Bob Brown. I flew in there for the week, and Bob's my coach, and we just kind of made a videos for all the beginners out there, and kind of showing what we do on the table, and kind of show recovery and all that. And I think that is priceless. I've been following Bob Brown since I got into the sport, and I wanted more of him getting out there, because it's not enough videos, and I loved learning from him. He could really break everything down. So I encourage you, get over there, you newbies and all. You could learn a lot. You could learn recovery and just a bunch of different stuff that could definitely help you. And
that stuff is so important.
And that was the reason I also brought that up, Paul, is the first thing of our class, day one, first 5 minutes in, he practically said what you said. He said the key to success in arm wrestling is staying consistent and not getting injured. That was literally the first sentence in the big booklet that Bob made. And he
I remember
really,
we had Pablo on the podcast too, and he said that was like the main thing too. Just, longevity, just don't get injured,
yeah.
But these things are so important. I mean, if we really want to grow arm wrestling, if we love the sport, right? Like at the end of the day, we need to cater to new arm wrestlers, like novice amateurs, kids, women. These are the areas that we are struggling at. And if you look at it at the world level, it's exactly that. Like if you go to the Eastern European bloc countries, they have arm wrestling tables in high schools and in gyms, right? Arm wrestling is not frowned upon for women to do. They're welcomed in. There's no weirdness. You know what I mean? There's no ego. And because of that, we are behind, So we need to be able to make arm wrestling readily available to new pullers, kids, and women. And and I don't have the answer on how to do that. I just know the problem, not the solution, because we've tried, like, with James Reed and our promotions we do up here, we try our best to cater to women and kids and new pullers. And we've had some success. And then we've learned the hard way on certain things that sometimes it's tough to get them people out and make them comfortable. But I think that really comes back to the arm wrestling community as a whole. We got to make these folks comfortable. We can't throw the novice in the back and like the closet, go compete over there. We got to highlight these guys. Kids, we got to highlight them. Women, we got to highlight them. Pros, guys, we've been here competing for money or different things and everything else. What the hell do we need? You know what I mean? Like, we should go last. Are you kidding me? And pros want to go first and lead. But like, if we really want the sport to grow, we need to highlight the pros.
Yeah, I totally agree. And I believe Devin and Auden were on the right path with bringing the tournaments to the high schools.
It's so hard, Paul. Have you looked into it?
That's what I brought up to Devin when he said that. I understand with Devin, going somewhere to a school and telling them that, he's going to throw a seminar or a tournament, they might be more open. But, to an average guy, I go over to the local high school, they're going to think insurance,
liability. They don't even have dodgeball because that's a liability.
Yeah.
Imagine arm wrestling.
Yes.
His parents will complain, oh, Timmy snapped his arm. Oh, shit. Next thing you know, no more arm wrestling.
Yeah,
right.
For real.
Yeah,
Paul should know this, right? Because you're a high school football coach, correct?
And we got all these other sports where you're risking death, essentially. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, you get CTE from football, but
I'm on that road.
So let me ask you, Paul, how do we get it into the schools and all?
I don't know, man. I really don't know. I mean, I think first off, it's going to take a united front. It's going to take organization. It's going to take a little bit of funding. It's a huge, huge endeavor that I personally, I don't have the means to commit to. I've talked to several people and said, I am willing to be involved in the capacity that I can provide, but I can't lead the thing up, And I know the school district that I work in would be absolutely impossible. Just from understanding that school district, their approach to liability and, just general, like, political correctness and everything. Like, this ain't something that's about to happen where I'm at all.
See, that's where I feel like anywhere in United States, I feel like it's like that. I don't know if it's different in Canada, but when they were doing that, that was the first thing that I thought. I'm like, with the liabilities, I just do not see it. And then, God forbid, somebody does get hurt. That first student that pops a bicep, or God forbid, snaps an arm. Oh, it's done. Like,
what's ironic? I think that the places that we could have some success with. Believe it or not, I mean, I know Paul. I know Jaron Nixon with the Urban Arm Wrestling League, and I've worked with him a little bit. He has some aspirations on that, and I think the inner city community would be the most open arm to it. There's going to be less amount of questions, less questions on liability and stuff, as long as it's allowing an outlet. I think that's the first stepping stone for the whole thing, is taking it to them communities who where the Boys and Girls Club are. Like trying to get kids an opportunity to do something else with their time rather than get in trouble, because parents will be happy for that. They're thankful. Keep my kid off the streets. Don't break his arm, please. Hopefully not. We're not that worried about it. We'll sign the waiver. You know what I mean?
It's true. It works for Queens.
I know. I know. I've been talking to Jaron. Hopefully we can get the ball rolling a little bit more. We've done some events, but it hasn't gone where we really envisioned.
Yeah, shout out to Jerry Nixon, Urban Arm Wrestling. He's doing a lot of great things in Long Island, New York. He's at a wine dance. Just a great character, man, and really trying to spread arm wrestling to all the youth and all that. And
Yeah,
really,
he's good.
yeah, great people for real. So I want to talk about another match that has been announced that hasn't been talked about that much, and that's September 30th. And that would be Larry Wheels going against Leonidas Arcona, left-hand match. And I think that's going down in Germany. So what's up with that, man? Have anybody hear anything about this? I haven't really heard much hype about it, but that's an interesting one. These two jacked up guys are about to go at it. They're both fairly new. I think they're like 4 or 5 years in, both of them and all. Who do you think is going to get the win?
I think it could be real close. The last time they sparred in Dubai, Leonidas was a little bit more dominant. So, but they're both. I think it'll be close.
And was that with the left arm that he was more dominant?
I believe so. I know both of their lefts are their stronger arms.
Leonidas right's not that good.
Okay. And Paul, what's your thoughts on that left-hand match?
I mean, I pulled with Leonidas after the East versus West, the last one. He had very dead set on getting me on the table.
Oh, nice.
And be weird and everything. But he's strong, and he's got a very awkward move. And he's got a move that can create problems for Larry.
What's his move? I've never really seen him pull.
It is like a dragging open top roll.
Okay.
Like very pronation driven, but also bicep driven. So good side pressure, solid hand. It's going to be hard. Like Larry's probably not going to top roll him. Larry's going to have to try and cup him and hook him and supinate him in.
Does he have a big hand, Leonidas?
Yeah, he's got a quick thumb pad. And I'll tell you this, Leonidas knows how to arm wrestle. Like, you can't, like, the guy will, like, mess with you in the setup. Like, you got, like, I don't see Larry getting the better of him in the setup. He knows what he needs. He knows what he needs in the strap, and he protects it. So Larry, he's got to be on point in the setup to be able to drop those bottom two fingers on that pronator early. And he's going to have to do it quick. If Leonidas hits his elbow to the back of the pad, it's going to be long and weird because it's tough to get through him if you can't bring him back to you. Okay. So, I mean, I think I don't know Larry's level completely left arm. That'd be a better question for somebody like Derek Smith because I know Derek's pulled both of them. But I part of me slightly favors Leonidas, but I'd like to see Larry win because Larry's due to get some good wins. And Larry's a good arm wrestler, guys. Like, we were past that whole Larry's just a bodybuilder, powerlifter guy. Like, Larry's about to be the real deal. Like, whether you like it or not, like, he's getting ready to be really good.
Yeah, I remember John Brezink being on here, and he was saying that he thinks he's going to be the gatekeeper to the elites and all. So definitely want to see Larry get some wins for sure. Merlene, what's your thoughts on this match? Do you have a favorite?
I kind of like the underdog kind of thing because I'm an underdog myself, so I'm kind of low key rooting for Larry on the low because I think it's really cool like how he got into the sport and he was like, I'm gonna go train for like months over here and learn it and all this stuff. So it's like he's hungry for it. So I'm excited to see him get another win.
Josh, what's your thoughts? Does Larry take the win that day?
I mean, I'm gonna be rooting for Larry, and this is good for arm wrestling too because these are two big YouTube personalities. I mean, Larry's got almost 3 million followers, and Leonidas has hundreds of thousands. So it's just bringing a whole new audience to people who don't care about arm wrestling, just going to watch it because of the guys they follow.
That's the most important point right there.
Exactly.
Again, I think a lot of times we like as seasoned arm wrestlers, people committed to this sport, not maybe coming from somewhere else. We can look at that and say, well, these guys are coming in on the spotlight, or it's easy to hate on them, But let's be serious, man. Like, number one, both of these guys are genetically gifted. Larry's very, very genetically gifted. When people was writing him off as a bodybuilder, strongman early on, it's like, come on, guys, this guy's an athlete. Like, it's only going to take. He's going to figure it out. The light bulb's going to go off, and then everybody's going to stop talking, and Larry's going to be the man because that's how it works. There's always somebody bigger and badder out there. Like, but that's not something we should run away from. You got to run towards it. Like, Like, this is what's going to make the sport better. It's going to take it to the next level. It's going to bring us a little bit more attention. And I think we're in a pressure cooker right now of attention for arm wrestling. It's super awesome. And I think we should all be behind it because it's growing, it's branching, more new people are watching it. There's a lot of stuff going on. Like I said, a lot of stuff going on in the background. There's probably gonna be some ground shaking announcements coming out here in the near future about some expansion and stuff. So I think we are at like a potential precipice. I don't know how long it's going to take to get there, but we are climbing that, you know? So it's really cool. And these guys are a super important part of it.
Yeah, I totally agree. I hope that we get more hype on that match, you know, because there's not much being talked about yet, you know, and it's coming up pretty soon. So I would have thought that people would be definitely hyping this up a little more. Do we know what organization is putting that together in Germany?
Do not know.
Yeah, I don't know either. It wasn't Core Sports, so I don't know who that is, though. So, guys, I want to move on now. I want to do this weekly trivia. I want to bring it to the trivia. And so everybody just, if you can, just either type in your answer in your phone, or if you got a piece of paper and a marker or something, you can just write that down. I'm going to give the question. I'm going to give you guys 20, 30 seconds. And everybody in the chat, please put your answers as well. Also want to shout out a couple of guys in the chat. I saw Luke Kent was in there. What's up, Luke? How you doing, brother? I know I think Luke's got a big match coming up this weekend. I think he's competing somewhere. I don't remember where, but I think he has something September 9th. Might be in Utah. Yeah, I think that's it, with Justin Green and Bob Brown and all them. I wish you guys all luck this weekend coming up. And we also know I'll be competing this weekend, Saturday, at the FAL. I'm going to be hitting up the semi-pros. It's going to be my first time to compete with the left arm. I'm going to actually pull up. I'm going to do 198 in the 220 class. And on the right arm, I'm going to be doing 198, 220, and 242. And that
you said semi-pro. Is there amateur, semi-pro, and pro for the FAL?
Yeah, there's amateur, semi-pro, and pro for the FAL.
They must have a lot of entries over there.
Yeah, the only thing I was a little nervous was I know last FAL event I wasn't there. I think it was King of Florida. I think they didn't have enough people for the semis, so I think they combined them all, you know, into one. So I'm expecting a huge turnout this one. So I'm hoping that they'll have the semi-pro class.
Are you gonna go crackhead mode this time again?
Oh, bro, it's on. So I had some guy hit me up actually yesterday, and he sent me a message, and he's like, yo, I just heard you on the FAL podcast, and I kind of took offense that you told everybody you were going to win the 198s really easy. And he goes, well, I'm coming from Arkansas, and you know, I've been training for the last year and a half. I haven't competed yet, but I'm gonna destroy you that day. So I was like,
all the way from Arkansas.
Yeah, bro, they're coming at me, man. You know, I know I definitely been making a lot of noise out there, and I know a lot of people, some people are taking offense to it, you know, saying they don't like to hear amateurs get so mouthy, and, you know,
that's good. That builds the hype for everyone. I think it's fantastic, to be honest.
Hell yeah, man. I'm never going to censor myself or be quiet because you feel I shouldn't
get
an amateur. Well, I'm going to say to you got some shit to talk. Yeah, let's get on the table and solve it there.
Yeah.
And little Chris Gabi, you know, the super troll has been going around supposedly saying, I
thought you were on good terms with him when he came on the podcast a couple months ago. What happened there?
I have no idea. I get hit up a couple days back by 4 different people, and they're like, "Yo, do you have problems with Chris Gabi?" Exactly what you just said. I was like, "Nah, man. We're on a podcast together. We squashed everything, put everything." Well, now Gabi's talking a lot of shit, saying that I'm too loud for an amateur, and he says that I'm a half retarded or whatever, but I'm not that retarded that I would take a match with him. So I'm like, bro, I will pull you, Chris Gabi, anytime, any place.
Has he responded to your call out?
Yeah, he actually did hit me back. He said that he wants to know what is in for him. I said, as far as finances and all. I said, well, let's see what promoter wants to get it, and see if they'll put up a cash prize. And he said that he would need some time to train and all, and we'd have to work out details. But I know he wanted to pull me left hand, but I'm more going for the right. I still, like I said, is my first competition this weekend coming up with the left. Is the first time really putting it to work after the surgery and all. So I'm still a little nervous with the left, but my right is feeling bulletproof, and I'm feeling hungry and want to take on a bunch of matches.
Gabi's left hand dominant, I believe.
Yeah, he definitely is.
Good, man. Gabi's good.
Oh yeah, no, I'm not saying any. I respect him as a puller. I don't respect him as a person, but I know he's a high level puller.
I know there's been a lot of stuff back and forth with him and different people and everything else. He's a very intelligent person. Yeah. So like, if he's trolling, it's probably for a reason. Maybe it's for him. I don't know. But Gabi's a good puller. I mean, I don't know how active he's been, but that would be an interesting one to see if your left's healthy, man. I mean, but he's the real deal.
Well, I want right though, just so it's known. I want a right hand match with him. I know he's like 10, 15 years in or something. You got to remember, I'm still pretty new and all that. So, but I'm feeling pretty confident, and just let everybody knows, because I had another guy, Joel Hudick, hitting me up and saying, "Yo, you want that smoke?" And I said, "Yo, bro, 100%, 2024 though, that's going to be going down because I have a couple matches set already for some big money." And
you got to take the amateurs out before you go to the pro class next year. Yeah.
I keep saying that, but some guys, they're a little hard-headed and can't understand that, Joel being one. And anytime I put a post out, he's under it and challenging me. And I said, bro, I know you're not the brightest, but 2024, you will get that smoke. I promise you, I'll bring it there.
Let me ask you this. Yep. Like, I think if I'm not mistaken, we started the whole semi-pro thing in the Northeast because we have such a dense saturation of arm wrestling. We get like 200-300 entries at like local events, sometimes 500. And we had that stopgap right there of guys who were in that transition period who were, they're going to win the amateur class, or they're going to place top 2 every time. But they're going into the pros and they're nowhere near, they're going 0-2 or 1-2. So we put that in there to kind of like separate things out. Like, we're getting 20, 30 pullers in this amateur class. Let's split this out. So what is your thoughts on when is it time to move up? Because we have had times with these different classifications in our promotions where I got to go to a guy and be like, "Bro, you really about to pull amateur? Like, I don't know if I'm comfortable letting you do that. Like, enough is enough. Now let's go." You know what I mean? We put these things out here so we can progress. But if you're just smacking everybody, not getting a match, you're multi-classing and stuff, like, we got to move up. So what is your thoughts on when it's time to go?
So my thoughts are, and this was brought to me by Leonard and Denise, was 3 wins in the amateur tournaments, and then you automatically moved up. Now, people are saying, why are you still going into amateurs? Well, this is my 3rd tournament ever to compete in, so that's why I'm sticking with amateurs. I know I'm going to win. I'm 99% sure I'm going to win. But what I am working on is I'm doing all the little detail work, the ready goes, getting the nerves, dealt with, my timing, everything is being tweaked. So a lot of guys are just like, "Oh, you're just going to get the win." No, I'm actually working on everything I do. So when I do get to the pros, it's not going to be 0-2 and out. You know what I mean?
Well, I think it's smart because you can view it as training. Like you said, you want to compete in pros next year. So if you take some time just to get that experience and kind of lock in with everything, then by the time you get to pros, you'll be that much more ready to go.
Bro, the difference was from my first event, I was so nervous and, I was playing defense, where the second one, I just came in so confident and I was hitting. I was very offensive. So the more I do it, the more comfortable I get, the more relaxed I am. Last time, the whole week, 2 weeks before, I was just so nervous leading up to that. That's all I could think. Now I'm just chilling. Now I'm like, oh, I can't wait to show what I'm about to do. I'm pulling up a couple of weight classes. So that's going to be the challenge on this one. I did the 198s last time. Now I'm going to go against the bigger hands. I want to pull those 220 guys. I even want to pull the 242 guys. I want to really challenge myself. And, that's my progression. And then, like I said, I got the big super match December 9th. I'm going to be going against Twinkie Boy, Ryan Grondin in Phoenix, Arizona, thrown by Greg Brown Productions. And right after that, I'm going to win that $1,000 cash prize, and that officially makes me a pro then. I just won money from an arm wrestling match. Now, January 2024, I'm coming for the pro class, and I'm going to see what I could do in there.
It's such an interesting topic, too, because there's two different schools of thought. There's schools of thought like everybody should just jump into the pros and take their weapons as long as it takes for them to get better. And then there's the progression thought process. And me, I mean, when I first started, I actually pulled amateurs my first year at WAL in the finals, and I caught a lot of heat for that. But I mean, I was a year in, and I was like, you know, like I placed top 3 at some of the qualifiers in the pro class at 225. But I'm like, I just want to go experience this thing. Meanwhile, in the background, I'm every tournament that I'm pulling as many classes as I can pull, as many levels as I can pull. Because I do believe that those ready goes are absolutely invaluable. You cannot replicate that at practice. You cannot create the pressure situation. You cannot create that competition situation with everybody looking all the eyes. You just can't do it. So there's like it's such a thin line, and the difference in perspectives. I see both sides, but like what I would say to you, Paul, is like, if you're gonna pull the semi-pros at your weight, pull the pros at your weight too, rather than pulling the semi-pros at a higher weight. Like, it's basically the equivalent. So like, go at them pros too, and then maybe do all of it. So like, as long as
this is my problem, Paul. I understand what you're saying. It's just I feel my Pacific where I'm at with context is I have matches against Ryan Grande and Nanya. I go and I beat this pro class, bro. It just doesn't make sense no more. Now, do I still have my $6,000 super match coming up for a belt? So for my situation, brother, I think I need to do what I'm doing.
I see what you're saying, but like, a local tournament shouldn't like say, oh, you know, like, if those guys signed the dotted line, bro, you better pony up. At the end of the day, the money's there. They got to pony up. But I mean, it's whatever. But I would say get as many ready goes as you possibly can. Because you missed some time with injuries. You missed like, you started a ways back, but you didn't have the competition experience. There's no way to get better at this game without putting yourself in that uncomfortable pressure situation. You got to do it. And sometimes you got to do it when you are the dog. And if you're the dog, just welcome it. So if these guys are texting you, say, hey, I'm coming for you, I'm good. Thanks for the warning.
Yeah. And bro, you guys don't understand, man. I am feeling confident. Like, these pros aren't scaring me at all. I know what I'm going to do to these guys. They just don't know. You know, I'm going around, I'm gripping up with everybody around the country. You know, I'm dominating these practices. Anybody that's near my weight, I mean, I'm owning them. Like, literally, I'm big names, people that don't want to lose in practice pulls on camera. You know, I'm owning them. Like, it's easy. So, you know, I'm believe me, guys, I'm ready for that pro class. And guys like Joel, bro, I'm going to humble you, my man. You know, I'm going to shock you. You're just going to be another speed bump on the way. So just know that, Joel. But yeah, let me move on to, we got our quiz going on. Let's start that off. You guys all got your phones and your paper and pen together. Here we go. Question number 1. Who is the top female arm wrestler of all time from California? Who is the top female arm wrestler of all time from California? So let's see them, guys. We chat room. Let's see what you guys got. Who is the all-time top female puller from California? They might not be pulling today.
Yeah,
I'm with the names. Who do we got? Nancy. Is that Nancy Locke? Nancy Locke?
Lori Cole?
Okay, but
she might be right.
The answer is Dot Jones. This is one of the legends from back in the day, Dot Jones. She was like the Gabby of back then, like just dominated everybody on the planet. Okay, this one, you should know this one, Paul. What is Paul Talbot's nickname? What is Paul Talbot's nickname?
My nickname.
Let's see, chat room. Yes, he got it. Let's see what you guys, Tom, what do you got? Marlene? Josh? Oh man, I got you stumped on it. The assassin.
Yeah, that
Cole
was
Talbot is the assassin, especially with that left arm. No joke.
good. That's my guy.
All right. And who won WAF World Arm Wrestling Championship, senior men, 100 kilogram left? Who won the WAF World Arm Wrestling
The dude
Championship?
from Kazakhstan.
Yes, yes.
I don't know his name. No one can spell that.
No, you should know. No,
the
you
dude
should
from
know this.
Kazakhstan, it was Krasi, and then it was Bacha, right? Or Angarbayev.
Angarbayev. Yes. Angarbayev is the answer. Did anybody guys get that? No. Wow. Okay. What year was Ron Bath born? And we know Ron's got a big match coming up against Matt Mask, September 23rd at King of Table. This one's going to be a fire. What year was Ron born?
He's
1901.
122 years old.
Oh, yes. Way to go, Tom. That was
correct?
Good.
Is that right?
1962.
That was correct.
Yeah, Tom got it.
That was a
right.
random guess.
Merlene, did you have
I
1962?
said 1973.
Okay. It was 1962.
I'm happy.
Damn, Tom, you better go play the lotto, man, after that one. That was a good one, bro. Okay, when was the first documented super match? When was the first documented super match? This was back in the day.
Huh.
Let's see, fans. Myers, what's up? Aaron, how you doing, brother? You were close on that. It was 1962. But when was the first documented super match? I'm sorry, I was answering the other one. 1995. Nope. 19. What was that? 81. Nope. Josh, what do you have?
75.
Berlin 67. So the answer is December 16th, 1946.
Huh.
What the hell?
Yeah,
What?
bro.
Where was
back.
that? Where the hell was that?
That was in the Coliseum in Rome.
I got to get that answer exactly where it was.
3000 BC.
Yeah, right.
Roman Coliseum.
Who was it? Who competed? You got to have context.
Yeah, I got to get context on that one. We'll get back to that. Okay, here we go. What 1960s cartoon character traveled to Petaluma to compete in the World Wrestling Championships? And this one I've talked about many of times. You guys should, some of you should know this one. What 1960s cartoon character traveled to Petaluma to compete in the World Wrestling Championships? And my Cali guys should know that. Israel, Luke Kent, all you guys know that. You've been on my tour over there.
Has to be.
All right, let's see the answers, guys. Who is it? Popeye. Nope, not Popeye. Oh, wow. Everybody went with Popeye.
I said Bugs Bunny.
Oh, close. It is Snoopy, guys. It was Snoopy. So, the guy, Schultz, he was the one that made, all the comics, and he lives in Santa Rosa, which is 10 minutes from Petaluma. And, he made that Snoopy comics. And when he put that out, it got all over the world and got arm wrestling a lot of recognition. So that was like a big move for arm wrestling. Where is the earliest record of arm wrestling found? Where is the earliest record of arm wrestling found? I think some of you guys said this earlier, one of the other questions. How about you guys, chat? What do we got in there? Chat, hit that thumbs up button as well. Oh, we got a super chat from the man, Greg Brown. What's up? $5 super chat. Tom, let me sleep on your couch for Texas State on the 23rd. Oh, wait, you don't have one. Ah, ha, ha. Air mattress by the power rack. Oh, man. Greg is always throwing shade towards Tom. We know.
Okay. Remember, I'm going to dad move him after I beat Freddie in December. So there's no problem.
Oh, man. So we all know that Greg Brown Productions is putting together this big match between me and Twinkie Boy Ryan Grandin in December 9th in Phoenix, Arizona. Shout out to Greg. Really appreciate that, brother. Thank you. So where was the earliest record of arm wrestling found? Come on, Greg, answer for let's see your answer, Greg. What do we got, Paul? What does that say? Rome. Nope, not Rome. Nope.
I said Greece.
Greece.
Not Greece.
No.
It's on you, bro. You said it before. You said it with the other question.
I said
Egypt.
it before.
Egypt.
Egypt.
Yep. Egypt.
No, I didn't say Egypt.
Oh, I thought you said with the first documented super match. I thought you said it was Egypt. I might have got that one wrong. Okay, so next one is, what athlete from Game of Arms was also famously vegan? What athlete from Game of Arms was also famously vegan? Yes, Rob Bigwood. Very good, Paul. That was a good one.
I just trained with him on Sunday. He lives in Austin now.
Is he still?
Oh, wow, bro. Tell us about
Yeah,
that, man.
I faced him in a tournament on the left a month ago. I beat him on the left. We just trained. He's pretty big. He's like 255. We just trained on Sunday. He's strong.
So, what's the
Good
deal with
hook.
him, man? Is he making a comeback? Are we going to see him in the spotlight again?
I think so. Yeah, he's been practicing consistently. So yeah, I think so.
How long has he been living out in Austin for now?
I'm not sure.
Okay, dude, let's get him on one of these days, man. Maybe next week, Tom. Maybe see if we
I'll
can
hit
get him
him
on
up.
as
I'll
one of
hit
the
him up.
guests. Yeah, we'd love to have that. So, guys, now we got 4 more left, and this is now we're going into the quotes. Who said that? All right, who said? Okay, he goes, who said, that's right, baby, let's go. Oh, finally. Who said, that's right, baby, let's go. Oh, finally. And I'm going to give a little hint, context of where this was said. So this might help you get the answer. It was said at East versus West 9. This was after one of the matches. Who said that? That's right, baby. Let's go. Oh, finally. Let's see them, guys. Derek, damn, Paul, you are killing it, brother. Hell yeah. Doing his homework.
I needed the hint. And
So
I was right there.
the answer is Derek Smith after beating Mende in East versus West 9. I believe that was the Iranian Hulk.
Yeah.
And Derek was ecstatic about getting his first big win at East versus West. Way to go, Derek. Okay, who said this? Who said Jerry is the easier guy for me to beat out of anybody? He's the most one-trick pony that there is. Who said Jerry is the easier guy for me to beat out of anybody? He's the most one-trick pony that there is. Let's see, chat. Who said that, guys? Let's hear it, chat. Devin, yes. Devin, yes. Everybody getting it right? Merlene and Josh, did you say Devin?
I did not.
Yeah, I mean, that was a Devin. That just sounds like Devin saying that.
Yeah, he actually said that on an interview I did on my channel with Devin. He came out with that one. All right, here's the next one. Who said, after Devin, I want to face Hermes because all the people say he's number 2 in the world. Very strong, very powerful, but I'm sure that I will top roll him and I will be a very big nightmare for him also. So one more time. Who said, after Devin, I want to face Hermes because all the people say he's number 2 in the world. Very strong, very powerful, but I'm sure that I will top roll him and I will be very big nightmare for him also. And just so you guys know, this guy has been making a lot of waves and has been getting a lot of big time super matches. Who is it? Let's see what Josh got. Josh, who did you say?
Georgia.
Paul, Tom, all right. Merlene, did you say Georgie? Yes, you did. You should have just said yes. Yes. So it was Georgie Savetkov, and that was on the interview I did with him. Okay, here's the last one, guys, and this one is, I think, is an easy one. Who said, oh yeah, going for a ride? Who said, oh yeah, going for a ride? Anybody know that? Paul, you look confused on that one. The guy might have this similar name to you, bro. Come on, somebody's got to get this one. Okay, I'm going to give a little hint. It was said at a FAL event. It's the crackhead mode. I love it, Tom. Killed it. I said that at the FAL, my second tournament. I think it was in the finals. Told the guy I was taking him for a ride. So that concludes our Arm Wrestling Buzz episode 23, guys. I would like to first wish Merlene a lot of luck this weekend. I know you got a big super match, and really looking forward to seeing you in person, finally getting to meet you. Paul, I'm looking forward to seeing you at the Monster Factory. I know you got some big things going on. You're going to be bringing out that left. You're going to be going against Artem, left hand. Really looking forward to seeing that left coming into action. And Tom, good luck this weekend, brother. Go kill it, my man. I expect that you're going to tear up the 242s like you always do.
It's not this weekend, so like 3 weeks.
3 weeks, sorry about that. So what's the date on that one?
23rd, same as King of the Table.
Oh, very cool, man. Yeah, and also want to shout out September 23rd. Travis Bajans got a big event. I'm going to be helping him out with that, going down in West Virginia. So if you're in that area, definitely come over there and come hang out. It's one class tournament. You know, it's very interesting setup, but a lot of fun, and it's going to be a lot of great pullers coming there. So definitely get over that. And I just want to thank everybody for coming on tonight. I appreciate it. I appreciate all the subscribers in there. And if you haven't already, please hit that thumbs up button. It really does help. And is there anything you guys would like to shout out before we call it a night?
Yeah, Paul, thanks for having me on, man. I didn't get to interact a whole lot with Linn. Sending you some positive energy for this weekend. Go ahead, kill it. Build that momentum for East versus West. Can't wait for that. Can't wait for when is it? Is it January?
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Okay. Excellent. Excellent.
Marlene, have they announced that yet? Your big match with Caroline Peterson?
Engin did a status, I believe.
Yeah, it's out. It's out. So
okay. So do we know the exact date on that?
No, I don't know the exact date yet.
Well,
Okay.
I think we may be looking at January timeframe, but I think this is huge. It's going to be the same opponent that Elizabeth Music faced. So we really get to see, what the best in the United States has to offer against a common denominator. So I'm really excited for it. I think that Merlene, knowing that this is coming too, adds that little extra bit of pressure to bring the best. And I spoke to Adam a little bit about it, and he assures me that Merlene's going hard. So I'm really excited for the future of American arm wrestling in general, and the potential of having like maybe a new face for the women coming over there too that can compete. So I'm really excited about that. Tom, best of luck in the upcoming event. Paul, you too, man. Take it easy on my boy Ryan.
Yeah.
Be nice.
Hell yeah. And I also want to shout out to Cameron Dennett from Kingston, New York. He just had a great win with his left hand in the 198 class of amateurs. He's a strong up-and-coming puller. Got to meet him up at the Knuckles Up event. Got the grip up. Great guy. Definitely going to be doing some big things. So keep an eye out for him as well. Thank you guys for coming on, and I wish everybody luck. And thank you guys again.